welcome to the Friday edition of the Breakfast Show. And of course, quite an interesting week it has been. We've had a lot of things happening, and of course, obviously, you also have something that you'd like to share with us and with the people also out there. So make sure to just comment in the comment section, and we'll be able to share with you or to read out whatever comments that you're going to be bringing out. And today is quite a special edition because we have interesting guests with us this particular morning. But before we get into that, well, let's get to what we have this morning in our stories. And now, the first story in the headline pick and story pick is government launches cosmetology expo. And now the story reads, well, the Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprise Development has successfully launched the inaugural Zambia Cosmetology Expo in Lusaka to promote skills development, innovation, and business growth in the beauty industry. And now, well, one of our reporters, Precious Panda, gives us more in this report. Let's take a look at it.
The Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprise Development has successfully launched the inaugural Zambia Cosmetology Expo in Lusaka to promote skills development, innovation, and business growth in the beauty industry. The event was officiated by Ministry of Commerce, Trade and Industry Permanent Secretary Mrs. Lillian Walia, who reaffirmed the government's commitment to supporting the cosmetology sector as a source of empowerment and income for young people. She said the expo offers a platform for makeup artists, hairdressers, wellness professionals, and nail technicians to show their products, services, and creativity.
Government recognizes that cosmetology contributes to job creation. Every salon and every barbershop employs and trains 3 to 10 people. This sector is keeping households of Zambian youth productive and in employment.
Mrs. Walia encouraged business owners to formalize their enterprises to access funding and other government support programs.
Government recognizes the positive contribution of cosmetology to the Zambian economy. We have concerns about standards and hygiene. As was highlighted, the Ministry of Commerce has a number of these bodies that can help your institutions get formalized. You have your product tested so that it can meet the market standards.
She also invited beauty professionals, entrepreneurs, and members of the public to attend the second day of the free expo to network, learn, and explore business opportunities. Precious Banda reporting for ICU TV News in Lusaka.
Well, quite an interesting move by the ministry. Of course, now we will get to see many young people jumping into entrepreneurship because of this particular move that has been made. And now, getting on to the next story that we have this morning. Well, Namalongo calls for peace ahead of election. And now the story goes on to read, Southern Province Police Commissioner Mono Namalongo has called on members of the public to uphold peace before, during, and after the August 13 general elections. Well, it goes on further he goes on further and met the call when a joint team from the Zambia Police Service and the Electoral Commission of Zambia (ECZ) paid a courtesy call on him during an election sensitization tour of the province. Now he urged citizens to remain tolerant, law-abiding, and avoid violence, intimidation, and other acts of lawlessness. While the commissioner reaffirmed the police's commitment to ensuring a safe electoral process while encouraging citizens to resolve disputes through lawful channels. While the joint team has since concluded its sensitization program aimed at promoting peaceful campaigns and responsible electoral conduct. Indeed, as we get towards the 13th or the August 13th election poll, that we will obviously get to see a number of bad issues and incidences happening. But this is a good call from the police commissioner Mono Namalongo, because now I do not think it is something that should be put out, especially knowing that Zambia is a democratic country and we get to believe that we are a Christian nation. Therefore, some of these things we just have to be peaceful and make sure that everything that we do does not end out in something that we will regret at the end of the day. Therefore, peaceful campaigns, peaceful people we are as Zambia and as a country. So please make sure to stay in your place. Make sure to not be that person that finds themselves wanting after. Or at the end of the day, we will just be people in the community, and nobody's going to be there to save you. Of course, and now we get on to the next story, or rather, this is where we get or go on a short break, and we'll be right back to jump into our health and fitness segment. And of course, in this particular one, we have our guest, like I said, from the Ministry of Health, and we'll just get to discuss some of these things. I will be able to bring out the topic right after this break, so stay glued, and we'll be right back.
The Information and Communications University is complementing government effort in promoting legal and safe mining for all Zambians. ICU is offering a short practical training course to artisanal and small-scale miners and those who intend to venture into mining. This training covers identification of rocks and minerals, mining operations and equipment, health and safety in mining, environmental protection, licensing and compliance. Qualifications: National Registration Card NRC. Apply now at www.icuzambia.net. For more information, contact the ICU School of Mines, Department of Artisanal and Small-Scale Mining at +260 763 302 596 or +260 973 263 492. For analysis of mineral samples, contact the ICU School of Mines Laboratory at +260 973 263 into mining. This training covers identification of rocks and minerals, mining operations and equipment, health and safety in mining, environmental protection, licensing and compliance. Qualifications: National Registration Card NRC. Apply now at www.icuzambia.net. For more information, contact the ICU School of Mines, Department of Artisanal and Small-Scale Mining at +260 763 302 596 or +260 973 263 492. For analysis of mineral samples, contact the ICU School of Mines Laboratory at +260 973 263 492 or +260 977 833 434. The Information and Communications University is complementing government effort in promoting legal and safe mining for all Zambians. ICU is offering a short practical training course to artisanal and small-scale miners and those who intend to venture into mining. This training covers identification of rocks and minerals, mining operations and equipment, health and safety in mining, environmental protection, licensing and compliance. Qualifications: National Registration Card NRC. Apply now at www.icuzambia.net. For more information, contact the ICU School of Mines, Department of Artisanal and Small-Scale Mining at +260 763 302 596 or +260 973 263 492. For analysis of mineral samples, contact the ICU School of Mines Laboratory at +260 973 263 492 or +260 977 833 434.
Alright, welcome back to, and remember you're watching the ICU TV Breakfast Show Friday edition. And of course, like I already said, we've looked at some of the stories that are making headlines, and now we jump into our health and safety segment where we have a very interesting guest with us from the Ministry of Health, and we'll just get to discuss all things polio this particular morning. And I'll just take this opportunity to allow my guest to introduce herself. How are you doing?
Good morning, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Please introduce yourself and your position in the health sector.
Okay, so I'm a registered nurse, midwife, under Ministry of Health, coming from Michael Chifesata Health Post.
Amazing. Now we are talking all things polio, and of course we understand that you are doing a campaign in this vein. Could you just briefly maybe give us the dates of this particular campaign?
So the dates of these campaigns, we are starting next week Tuesday, which is the 21st of July up to 24th of July.
Amazing. Now let's get to dive into it. What is poliomyelitis?
Before I get to answer what poliomyelitis is, I'll just give a short background of the campaign and
Please.
also what has been going on, because we are looking at the third round of polio.
Yes,
we've had the first round, the second round, and this is the third round that we are going to be launching on the 21st.
yes.
So just a short background. Just in February, to be specific, Lusaka in Garden, we've had we had a case. We had a case that we found there was a virus for polio that was actually hidden. So because of the poor sanitation in that area, because of the dams and all that, we discovered that there was an outbreak of polio. Hence, we started the campaign. That was the first round that we had.
Yeah. Interesting, quite an interesting one. Therefore, we see that a lot of people are actually getting informed about this particular. Is it a virus, a disease?
It's a virus.
It's a virus.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, and then kudos to the Ministry of Health for that particular, venture that you are taking, because we'll get to see a number of people now being saved from a number of things. And now I think this is where we could now jump into our topic of discussion.
Yes.
Yes. Maybe kindly help us understand what poliomyelitis is.
So poliomyelitis is a highly viral infectious disease that mostly affects the under 5. And it's spread through poor sanitation, fecal oral, and at times it may even cause permanent paralysis in severe cases. So it's very infectious.
That's quite a bad one. It goes all the way up to paralysis.
Yes.
And there's certain things that will happen and we wouldn't understand and know what could be causing this. Now, could you just help us understand some of the signs and symptoms of this particular virus?
So a child with poliomyelitis who has a virus, they'll present with headache, they'll present with fever, they'll present with vomiting. You see this child, some may have sore throats and so on. Then you get to find that in some kids may not present with these symptoms, but they have the virus. So when you discover that your child has got persistent cough, persistent fever, there's persistent vomiting, we as Ministry of Health, we come in and just do our lab tests just to ensure there's not this virus. So children under 5 will present with such kind of signs and symptoms.
Maybe just to get to this, is there a specific, does this virus choose who it goes into? Is it just for children? Polio is polio just for children? Can you find it in adults? Maybe the people who wouldn't understand out there would like to know.
Polio is mostly in children under the age of 5. The reason why is these children are still building on their immunities, and the immunities are a bit weak. So that's why we are giving this polio vaccine, so that we build on their immunities. So, and mostly the children that are prone are these, when it comes to hand washing, even if you tell a 3-year-old, 4-year-old, they'll just wash, but it won't be thorough. But with an adult who is 7, 8, 9, they know that I have to wash my hands. After using the toilet, I have to wash my hands. But you see, the under 5, it's very difficult to even teach them that this is how you wash hands. Yes, so we are emphasizing on hand washing, and the under 5 kids are the most ones who are prone. Yes, because of the lowered immunity.
Okay, maybe I did not get this part. I'm not sure if you mentioned it in the first part when you were starting, before getting into poliomyelitis, before getting into the topic, when you gave us a little bit on the background. But we'd just like to understand why the campaign. Why are we going through this campaign?
So we are going through this campaign because we understand we still have this virus roaming around. So we want to strengthen the protection. Remember, we have the routine vaccines that mothers bring their children to the clinics and hospitals for vaccination. That one, if you look at polio, it has got 3 types. There's type 1, type 2, and type 3. So mostly this campaign is targeting on the type 1 and the type 3, because the type 2, the kids already the mothers have been bringing these kids to the hospital and we've been vaccinating them. So we are targeting the type 1 and the type 3 because it's the one that is mostly contagious. It's highly infectious. Yes.
I know I'm not a medical personnel, but obviously right now I'm getting to learn a lot, and there's people that could want to, want to learn more. So please make sure to stay glued even as we get through the conversation, because by the end of this conversation, you've got to know what poliomyelitis is, what polio is, how best you can work around it, how you can curb it, some of the signs and symptoms, because there's certain things that would happen and you wouldn't know that that's poliomyelitis or that's polio. That's a poliovirus getting through. So from here, you will be able to learn on that. And now getting to continue our conversation. What is NOPV?
So NOPV is a novel oral polio vaccine. That's the one that we are actually talking about, the type 2 and the type 3.
Yes.
Because the type 2, we are already giving these kids the injections.
Sorry, maybe I did not get it. What are the differences?
So the differences with type 1 and type 3 is this one is highly infectious. Hence, we are trying to cover a lot of children from this the polio virus. Because this one mostly we like I earlier alluded to, we get it from a fecal oral, poor sanitation, eating contaminated food, and so on and so forth. So this NOPV is very safe. That's why we are giving it. Yeah. And it's best because we are trying to, by all means, to interrupt the poliovirus.
It's like you've now jumped onto the question I was about to ask later on, because I was going to ask you, there's a lot of people when it comes to especially vaccines, we've seen how it's been when it comes to the other vaccines that have just come out. We do not know about it, and somebody just comes and then I'll be there, especially in certain places you these people have just come to, kill us.
to kill us. So,
because people don't understand the safety that is there in those particular vaccines. So please do make us help us understand how safe are these vaccines.
So these vaccines have been evaluated. They have been proven by the Ministry of Health. They don't have any side effects. So I urge parents to just not to be rigid, but just to allow their children to get these vaccines. They are very, very safe. There are no side effects. Whether the child is sick or whether the child has got maybe other medical illnesses, then the NOPV is a very safe vaccine with no side effects unless otherwise, but there are no side effects. So far, from the round 1 and round 2, we have not received any complaint from any parent like a child has got the child is sick because of the polio vaccine. They had any side effect that maybe the child got from the previous ones. So it is very safe. So parents, let's be comfortable, let's be safe, let's just be, free to allow our health teams to give our children the vaccines.
Interesting. So when it comes to this vaccine, is it only administered once, or does it go more than that? Is it something that comes on routinely, or it's just once and it's done?
So with the OPV, it's routinely, because we want to strengthen the immunity of our young children, especially from 0 to 59 months. So we can even have round 4 as long as we have the polio virus roaming around our country. Because even in our neighboring countries like Zimbabwe, Namibia, Angola, we've heard there are those cases around. And when our neighboring countries have got this poliomyelitis, definitely we as Zambia, we are also at risk. So we can even go as to round 4. But for now, we are going to end on round 3, and we'll continue checking around in our communities just to ensure we stop the spread of the poliovirus.
Okay, and now you've talked about how safe it is, but there's sometimes false claims that this vaccine causes infertility. Help us. Please guide us on that one.
Okay, actually, those are just myths and misconceptions. They are just beliefs. Otherwise, and some they go as far as saying no, there are demons in these vaccines, and
Exactly.
they'll just put demons in my child and all that. No, they will cause infertility. When this child grows up, the child will not be able to have children. They may have infertility issues, but it's not true. It's not true. Those are just beliefs and misconceptions. I remember one time some mothers in a certain community concerning measles, that's 1 year 6 months, they were refusing to take their children for measles vaccine, saying no, the child will go blind. But what makes the child to go blind was not actually the vaccine. It was actually the disease itself, because it affects the eyes.
So you find that maybe sometimes they take time to take the child.
They take time.
And that by the time they're taking the child, it's maybe a little bit too late.
It's too late. So we want our children to be fully vaccinated.
Interesting. And of course, now we jump on to prevention measures. So you've given us a little bit of some of them, but we'd just like now to get into detail. How best can some of these viruses be, curbed, I should say, or prevented?
Okay, all right. So a big number of children through the campaign that we'll be having, because polio itself has got no treatment. So when the child has polio, there is no polio virus. It has got no treatment that you treat. You only treat the signs and the symptoms that this child is going to present. If the child has got a fever, you deal with the fever. If the child is vomiting, you deal with the vomiting. So the best prevention we have is vaccination. So let's ensure every child is vaccinated. Then also proper hand washing. We emphasize on proper hand washing. We also emphasize eating health foods, not food which is contaminated. Contaminated foods, we put our children at risk.
Amazing. Now, thank you so much. I think maybe before we exhaust everything, I'll allow you to so we get to have our next guest to just maybe close up and finish up. But before you leave, just help us understand with maybe just a few words of what you'd like to bring out that you feel you have not in the conversation you were not able to bring out. Just make sure, just help us or speak to the viewers too.
Okay, so my encouragement is to all the mothers out there, the church leaders, the schools. Let's give our schools the consent forms so that our children are vaccinated, and also in the communities we ensure proper health, proper disposal of waste, because this one of the things that is bringing the virus. So I would urge even the leaders, the pastors from church, we allow our children to be vaccinated. Even in the communities, there will be an outreach. It will be a door-to-door. Please don't close your doors. Open the doors for us so that we are able to vaccinate those children. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Maybe before you go, you could just tell the viewers once again who we were speaking to and what you do in the Ministry of Education, just in case there's some that are joining us right now.
Okay. So my name's Nelly Analungwe. So I'm a registered midwife in the Ministry of Health, based at stationed at Michael Chidifesada Health Post. Yeah, so I'm under MCH. So where we vaccinate children, pregnant mothers, you are all welcome. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you in our studios this morning. And we hope to have you again and again and again, because these are things that are going to help a lot of people out there understand some of these diseases that we have and how best they can be able to work around them. We really do appreciate the work that you're doing.
Thank you.
All right, this is where we come to an end of our first interview, our guest interview this particular morning. We'll go on a short break and we'll be right back as we get to just close it up with our final guest. Please do stay tuned.
We are the dreamers reaching for the sky. At ICU, together we will rise. With knowledge and passion, we aim to achieve a future so bright, with more to believe. We're building
Are the best graduating students, Masters in the School of Humanity. I'm Genea Moyo, and I am ICU.
We're rising high with education. We are the dreamers reaching for the sky. At ICU, together we will rise. With knowledge and passion, we aim to achieve a future so bright, with more to believe. We're building
Are the best graduating students, Masters in the School of Humanities.
won't be denied. From Lusaka to the world, we stand tall and strong.
Hi, I'm Genea Moyo, and I am ICU.
We're rising high with education. We are the
Well, remember you are still watching the ICU TV Breakfast Show Friday edition. And of course, we just had our first guest interview, and we will be wrapping it up with our final guest interview from the Ministry, continue with the Ministry of Health, just to talk about all things polio this particular morning. And my good sir, how are you doing?
I'm good, sir. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you. Please do introduce yourself.
All right. My name is Humphrey Kaunda. I'm an environmental health officer and also a health promotion officer under Ministry of Health.
So we are talking about the campaign that we're going to be having. Please, of course, we're given the date, and we just like to give more emphasis so that the people get to understand when we will be having this and why we are having this particular campaign.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. So the campaign will run from 21st of July to 24. The reason why we're having this campaign is because we want to fully protect our children who are below 5 years so that they become fully immunized. I know most parents and guardians are worried that why all these rounds, there was the first round, second one, and now the third one. The reason is because that this virus that we're trying to prevent, we need to do at least 3 rounds for them to be fully immunized. You know how babies are, children are, they can play with dirt, and dirt is one of the carriers of this virus, apart from what my area colleague had alluded to. So we may not know how these kids play with, or they're not hygiene-wise, they're not that good. So these 3 rounds will fully protect them from any form of attack. So this campaign, which is starting on Tuesday, is very important, and we urge your parents and guardians to come through to our health facility, because we'll also be in schools. To vaccinate, to give children. And we're urging parents to consent, because there are consent forms that were given in schools, so that parents should be consented, so that they are aware, because we don't want any issues of mwana adwala because of the vaccine, because these vaccines are very safe. They are very safe because it's not the first time as a country we're having such a vaccine. In 2022 we had the same polio campaign, and it's been there throughout. But in case of instances where you see your child maybe having some side effects, please encourage parents that we rush through the health facility so that we do our own investigations.
Amazing. You saw earlier on we spoke in terms of safety, but that's something that would just, those are some of the things that gets to prevent people from getting these vaccines. Of course, we've talked a little bit about it being safe, but we'd just like you to emphasize more on the safety, because that's what's going to encourage more people to come on board and have their children get vaccinated. So please do help us understand how safe this vaccine is also.
All right. No, thank you so much. This vaccine that we'll be giving is very much safe. Remember, this is not the first round we're having, it is the 3rd round. So from the 1st and 2nd round, where we have administered these vaccines to children, we haven't received any form of complaint, unless those who have got some maybe issues with concerning to their health. Maybe they're still on medication, they're sick. So there are different areas that we look at when it comes to if a child reacts to the vaccine. But otherwise, this vaccine is very safe. Those who may say, no, it's not safe, it's demonic, it will cause this and that, those are misconceptions. And if you have any queries that you wish to have, you are free to come through to our health facility, or there is a phone number that we are putting on the letters at schools where you can go and make your queries. So this vaccine is very safe, but in case of cases, because what we're trying to prevent is to protect the majority of our children to have the herd immunity, so that we break the transmission of this disease.
Thank you so much. I think it can't be emphasized more than that. Yeah,
Right,
and this is what we're getting to wrap it all up. And just before you leave, just help us understand. Of course, you say there's a contact that's going to be attached to the letters,
Yes.
but there are probably some people who would want to come directly to your facilities in case they are close by. Just help us understand where they can locate you and how best they can get to be in contact with the facility.
All right.
Are you on social media? Do you have social media handles? Do you have some sort of way people can be able to get through to you and the ministry,
All right. No, thank you so much.
the facility rather?
Thank you so much. So for parents and guardians, if you have got any queries or any issues, you are free to come to any facility within Lusaka, because I know some viewers may not be within Chalala, they may be in other areas, but you are free to go to the nearest facility or approach any hospital for any assistance or issues concerning this vaccine.
All right. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you
It's
so
been a
much.
pleasure having you,
Been a
and we
pleasure.
hope to have you more and more often in this studio, so that we just get to help most of the people understand some of these issues that we have, because a lot of us sometimes just act ignorant, I should put
Yes,
it, for lack of better terms, and
Yes.
with such kind of knowledge and information, we'll be able to understand how and why certain things happen, and we'll be able to curb them and prevent some of these things. Otherwise, it's been a pleasure having you.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure too.
All right, our dear viewers, this is where we get to a close of our guest interview this particular morning on the Friday edition of the Breakfast Show. And now we will be going on a short break, and coming right back is what's trending on social media. Do stay glued. All right, welcome back to the Friday edition once again of the Breakfast Show. We had our guest interview, and we spoke all things polio. I'm sure by now you have gotten to be knowledgeable of what polio is and poliomyelitis. I think I've just gotten to learn the new words today. And now this is where we get to jump onto our social media trends. And now our first story being tension erupted in Lusaka's Linga township after police allegedly attempted to stop an opposition campaign roadshow, sparking confusion and raising fresh questions over campaign activities during the national mourning period. And now one of our reporters, Beauty Nkonde, gets to give us more details in this particular report. So let's listen to
A 30-year-old woman, Rachel Banda, has been arrested in Choma after she allegedly stole her employer's 11-month-old baby from Chalala Apex in Lusaka. The suspect, who was working as a maid, was apprehended earlier today at a local lodge in Choma. According to reports, the baby went missing on Tuesday, 14th July 2026, after Rachel allegedly told her employers that she was taking the baby to a nearby shop. She allegedly never returned and switched off her mobile phones. The baby has since been recovered while the police continue investigating the alleged theft. Precious Banda reporting for ICU TV News in Choma.
Well, we do apologize for that technical glitch. We just played you the wrong clip, and that the previous clip that you just watched, the previous report rather that you just watched, is on police that have recorded an 11-month-old child who was reported missing in Lusaka and arrested. They rather recovered the 11-month-old child who was reported missing in Lusaka and arrested a 30-year-old female suspect in Choma. That is a clip that we are just playing, and I do not know what this woman was thinking. Why are we stealing? We know every God has his best time for everything. But if you feel we really okay, maybe let me just put it like this: I'm trying to understand the reasons to why this child was stolen, because God has always provided a time for everything. If you feel you're not able to have a child at a particular time, there are right processes and right ways to do it. You could go to the hospital, try to adopt a child. Of course, it comes with certain conditions, but at the end of the day, it always just gets to happen. And now, from the previous report, we see a 30-year-old female suspect being arrested. That's not worth it. After you steal or get a child, you have a child in your custody, and at the end of the day, you are arrested. It's a lot of things at the end of the day that are going to suffer because of what you have done. And now we go back to read the story that we had on the stories that we have on social media, and that's on the tension that has erupted in Lusaka's Kalingalinga township after police allegedly attempted to stop an opposition campaign roadshow, sparking confusion and raising fresh questions over campaign activities during the national mourning period. Now, this has raised a number of questions on social media because people are now asking whether we are going back to what was already there, what people were trying to run away from. Is it what is happening today? So if you just have something that you would like to comment in the comment section, you have a response to this particular thing, or there's something that you'd like to say, please do comment it in the comment section, drop it in the comment section below, and we'll be able to respond to it very soon, and we'll be able to give you some of the details, or we'll read out the comments later on as we get through. And now we go on our final break, and we'll be right back as we get to close up the Friday edition of the Breakfast Show this particular morning. Stay tuned. Welcome back, and this is where we get to wrap up the Friday edition of the Breakfast Show. Now, before we go, we had a clip that we couldn't play on due to technical challenges, but let's take this opportunity to just take a look at it.
Confusion erupted moments ago in Lusaka's Kalingalinga township after Zambia police allegedly attempted to stop National Reconciliation Party for Unity and Prosperity NRPUP presidential candidate Brian Mundubile and his running mate Makebi Zulu from conducting a roadshow campaign. Mr. Mundubile has also taken to social media alleging that police fired tear gas at citizens in an attempt to stop the campaign. The incident comes on the same day government declared the start of a 5-day period of national mourning in honor of former Vice President Dr. Guy Lindsay Scott, who died yesterday. The national mourning announced by President Hakainde Hichilema will run from July 16 to July 20th, 2026. The development has sparked tension, with the opposition questioning the move, arguing that the ruling United Party for National Development UPND presidential candidate President Hakainde Hichilema is simultaneously conducting campaign activities in Kaputa. Following the confrontation, Mr. Mundubile and his running mate Makebi Zulu disembarked from their vehicle and continued on foot, walking hand in hand as supporters followed them chanting, "We want change." The circumstances surrounding the alleged police action remain unclear. Meanwhile, both the NRPUP and the Zambia Police Service are yet to issue official statements regarding the incident. For ICU TV News in Lusaka, I am Beauty Nkonde.
Right, now this is where we come to a close of the Breakfast Show this morning. Now, before we go, we will make sure to catch us live on Monday, Wednesday, Friday for the different editions that we have of the Breakfast Show. And also catch our other shows that we have. We have the Sports Smarts, we have Art Speed, we have ICU, we have Beyond the Classroom. And these shows are going to be brought to you exclusive on ICU TV. And make sure to follow them up and get interactive as we are here to entertain you. We are here to inform you and also to inspire you. So make sure to catch us right here, and do not forget to catch our lunchtime news bulletin at the hour 12. This is where we get to close it up. I've been your host this morning, Maluba Eric J. Mwana Majende, and this is what I get to say. Bye bye.